The average cost of childcare in Australia is $118.36 per day, and it can go as high as 190 Australian dollars for long hours, and that is expensive. However, if you are eligible to receive childcare subsidy payments, the cost can be lessened. But first, if we are just meeting, kia ora, kamusta? Welcome to Australia. I'm your host, Binibining Veronica. On our last video, we talked about Australian healthcare system, specifically focusing on Medicare. On this video, we'll talk about Child Care Subsidy. Who can get it? How much can you get? And how to make a claim. Moving to Australia? Well, you gotta plan with Veronica. Who can get it? You may be eligible if you or your partner meet all of the following: care for your child at least 2 nights per fortnight or have 14% of care, are liable for fees for care provided at an approved childcare service, and meet the residence rules. To be eligible for childcare subsidy, you must meet the residence rules. On the day you claim, you or your partner must be living in Australia and also have one of the following: Australian citizenship, a permanent visa, a special category visa, a certain temporary visa that is partnered provisional or temporary protection type visa. How much can you get? To work out how much CCS you're eligible for, they will look at all of the following: your family's income, the hourly rate cap based on the type of approved childcare you use, and your child's age, the hours of activity you and your partner do, and the number of children in your care. The amount of subsidized childcare you can access per fortnight applies to each child. When you go to serviceaustralia.gov.au, you can check their payment and service finder to estimate how much childcare subsidy you may get. If you are applying for a childcare subsidy for the first time, just know that you will need to get a Centrelink customer reference number. More on that shortly. But first, if you are enjoying this video, then please make sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you will know when I upload new videos just like this one. And if you want to support the channel, then please hit that super thanks icon at the bottom of this video, or simply buy me a coffee by clicking the link below. Alternatively, a big thumbs up also goes a long way. Salamat po! Centrelink delivers social security payments and services to Australians. So for example, in New Zealand, we have WINS. In Australia, they have Centrelink. At least that's how I explain it to myself. Now, you will need a Centrelink customer reference number if you want to claim for Centrelink payments and services, want to link your Centrelink to your �my𝐵 account, or record or update information with Centrelink. According to their website, the easiest way to get a Centrelink CRN is through �my𝐵, and there are 4 steps to follow. Number 1, sign in to �my𝐵. Number 2, select link Centrelink from the link a service menu. And number 3, select no to do you have or know your CRN, followed by next. And number 4, select get started on either digital identity or Centrelink identity verification. So let us go through each step. Obviously, if you just moved to Australia, you will have to create a �my𝐵 account. I will create a separate video about my experience creating a �my𝐵 account. But for now, let's say you have created an account with �my𝐵 and you are ready to sign in. So just sign in and go to link a service. So in this instance, you can choose Centrelink on the list. Once you click the link, you'll be asked if you are happy for �my𝐵 to store your details. And if you already have linked the Australian Taxation Office or Medicare to your �my𝐵 account, you will see your �my𝐵 profile details. Now, to actually link Centrelink, you will have to answer some questions specific to you or use a linking code that was issued to you over the phone or at a service center. In my experience, I initially tried to use a digital identity by downloading a separate app. However, it didn't really help me get a Centrelink customer reference number. I guess because during that time, I didn't have enough Australian-based form ID to increase my digital identity. So anyway, I ended up going to an actual Centrelink office, and the staff was kind enough to assist me. She provided me with a linking code, and she eventually helped me obtain my Centrelink CRN. Similarly, my husband and my daughter went to a Centrelink office and showed their photo IDs, and the staff helped them generate their CRNs. Now, this was a really stressful time for us because I was already working full-time when we applied for our Centrelink CRNs, and we were still trying to find rental accommodation. So we were very grateful for the staff at Centrelink who patiently assisted us. Once you have Centrelink customer reference number and you have linked it to your 𝐻𝐺𝐼 account, you can now start with your claim. So go to your 𝐻𝐺𝐼 dashboard and click Centrelink. That'll take you to the Centrelink website. Then go to Payments and Claim. Click Make a Claim. Under Families, select Get Started. Then select Family Assistance Payments and follow the prompts. You will be asked to provide information about you and your partner's identification details, relationship status, citizenship and residence details, your child's details, work situation, hours, and income. So overall, just know that this is not a 5-minute application. You will have to sit down, answer all of these questions, and provide information. Once you've completed your application, you will have to wait for your claim to be processed. When you enroll your child in an approved childcare service, you'll need to provide them some details so that Centrelink can pay them the subsidy, which in turn will lessen what you have to pay to the center. So the information you'll need to give the childcare service includes your CRN and date of birth and your child's CRN and date of birth. For your reference, in our experience, we actually enrolled our daughter to a childcare service first before we got our CRNs and before we got our childcare subsidy. I think it actually took about a month, and then we were paying the full amount for that first month. And then when we got the approval from Centrelink, we got some credits for a few weeks as part of that subsidy. So that was good. So how much subsidy you will get will depend on how much you earn and the hours you work. So in our situation, we initially received 50% worth of childcare subsidy. For your reference, from July 10, 2023, eligible family earning under $530,000 can get increased childcare subsidy. Now, just to give you an idea about the cost of childcare, when we were living in New Zealand, we had an option to choose between a Montessori center or a play-based center, and there's also some home-based centers. But for us, we opted for a Montessori center for our then 10-month-old daughter. And from memory, these centers look after children as young as 6 weeks old. And because we were both working and we didn't have alternative option in New Zealand, we enrolled our daughter in a childcare service. Now, here are the fees for that New Zealand childcare center. Please note the cost will vary depending on where you are living in New Zealand, what's included in the fees, and how long and how often your child will be in childcare. In New Zealand, fees are also separated for under 3 years old and over 3 years old. We didn't receive any childcare subsidy in New Zealand. Now, this is the fee for a play-based childcare center for my now 3-year-old daughter here in Australia. Diba? What a difference. So say for example, we are still living in New Zealand. We would only need to pay 132 New Zealand dollars per week or 122 Australian dollars per week for a Montessori childcare service, excluding meals and nappy. But in Australia, without a subsidy, you would have to pay $138 per day for a play-based center, including meals and nappy. So receiving the childcare subsidy here in Australia really helps a lot. And personally, I feel like our daily rates in our area anyway is cheaper compared to the rates offered to my friends living in Sydney and Melbourne. But like in New Zealand, the fees will vary depending on where you live, the services included, and hours required. Actually, let me know if you want to know more about childcare services in New Zealand versus Australia, or simply just Australia. Please write it down in the comment section below. If you think this video is helpful, then share it. Share it to your friends or watch my other video about buying your first car in Australia. As always, I wish you all the best with your journey and I hope you will be blessed. I'll see you soon. Bye!